Welcome, everybody. Here we are, time for another stream, just about. Hello to everybody in the comments. Let me know who's here. What are you doing? What are your plans for the day? What are your goals? I am, as usual, working on thesis things. I am hoping that by the end of today, if not by the end of the stream, I can be done with this endless table of things that's just taking forever so that I can actually get back to the writing part. And we've got some comments here. We've got Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. She is going to work on 2 different drafts this morning. Ooh, it's nice to have 2 tasks to alternate between. Hello, Claude. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, everybody saying hello to each other. That's good. That's good. We've got Isabella Cox here. Think you came by on Tuesday. Welcome back. Hoping to get a few pages done with chapter 10. Ooh, you're quite a ways in. You are quite a ways in. I can't remember. Did you tell me what kind of thing you are writing? What's your genre? I think that was it you that had that was working on a nano project, reworking it, trying to get it all finished and polished, and that I think that was you. I do still love your kitty though. That there's something about that little face. It's like, you've got me. I'm not supposed to be here. Yeah. Yeah. So I am, as I said, doing the slightly dull but necessary academic stuff. But I can see the end of it now. I had my meeting with my supervisor on Tuesday, and she seems happy enough with how I'm going. She believes I can get this finished by the overall deadline, so that's good. At least one of us believes it. I've missed so many deadlines at this point. I fear to commit to anything, which is probably not great, but I think with your help out there in the chat, I will get there. Isabella says writing contemporary adventure. No, I don't do NaNoWriMo. Oh, yeah, I mixed you up with someone else there. I'm sorry, Isabella, but contemporary adventure sounds cool. Yeah, got a lot of fantasy writers out there, so it's nice to see some sort of slightly more kind of grounded modern day stuff. That's cool. Always like a bit of a variety, and it means that if you got people working in different sort of genres, you sometimes get some interesting cross pollination happening in the chat. I've seen some really interesting suggestions, people going by helping each other. It's one of the things I like about AuthorTube. Brings us all together. Anyway, speaking of our works in progress, we should probably get those works into progress. As usual, we're going to start with a 10-minute sprint. Give us time to all get settled. I need to get my contact lenses in, so I'm going to turn off my camera briefly. But get us all ready, hands on keyboards, works in progress out, task lists started, all of those things before we get into the big, long 25-minute sprints. So I'm going to pull up a video here for a timer. Gonna add that in. And 3, 2, 1, sprint. Welcome back, everybody. Um, and it looks like Hayden has joined us. Good morning. It's 4 centigrade, 39 Fahrenheit here, and we're supposed to reach a high of 53 Fahrenheit or 12 Celsius. I do appreciate you putting in both systems there because I have no idea about Fahrenheits. We're expecting more of that dreadful white stuff called snow and ice. Getting ready for the day in the sprint. 12? Really? You'd think that'd keep the snow away, but I don't know. Maybe changeable weather conditions there. Yeah, we have. That's telling me it's 6 Celsius here, and it's very sunny outside. I've actually had to close the curtains in front of me because it is so bright out there that you'd just be seeing glowing ball of face going on. Now, partially that is because my camera sucks, but it is actually it's looking positively spring-like out there. Um, Elizabeth says 387 words on the draft for that one. I'm in North Carolina, Hayden. We're looking at wintry weather on Sunday. You too? Yeah. American wintry weather is kind of fascinating to me. We don't get snow in the way that you folks over there get snow. Well, I mean, I know that there are some states that Tennessee, where Hayden is not a particularly snowy state usually. But yeah, we're so much of our country here is coastline that it is very rare that we get any snow at all. We had like one flurry last week, and it didn't stick. Though this winter has been particularly mild, I think. I was going around on New Year's Eve in my t-shirt some of the time. Now I run fairly hot, but still, I won't go out in a t-shirt if it's near freezing. Hayden says either overnight or sometime tomorrow. Exciting. Cloud says -12 here, but warmer than yesterday and the day before. Yeah, that's pretty cold. It's pretty cold. I hope that you are wrapped up warm and not having your firewood stolen by any ghastly assholes that steal firewood this time. I'm still a little shocked by that. Yeah, so I got yeah. Elizabeth saying, "Ooh, burr." Yeah, I don't know that I've ever been anywhere that's been -12. That is a kind of cold that I don't have the clothes for. Yeah. I got mostly. I just got set up. Um, what I'm doing at the moment is I kind of have to get the PDFs open of all of the studies that I am rating on this scale of things. So I got them all open, got the files open, tried to get back to where I last left it, and sometimes you have to read a little bit back to remember where you were and what you were thinking last time you worked on a project. Claude says, I am happy to work from home these days. Yeah, that is a good thing. I mean, if it's that cold outside, it is much, much nicer not to have to face any commuting. And you can just stay at home with your hot beverage of choice, um, looking at the cold out there and going, I don't have to go out there. This is quite nice. Yeah. Yeah. There are very much advantages to working from home. Especially if it's the sort of job that kind of you're not monitored and required to be on particular hours. I know some of my friends are like, it's a whole clocking in, clocking out thing that can be a bit stressful. But the ones who can set their own schedule, it's ideal for a lot of writers because it means that you can kind of alternate whether you're doing serious work and serious serious sort of heavy work, whether that's for a project or not, and doing something a little bit lighter and work around your own body clock and still get your work done and get paid. And yeah, it's it's a very flexible way of doing things for a lot of people, which is cool. It doesn't suit me all that well because being stuck in one place all the time is not particularly great for my particular brain. But hopefully, once I'm finished with all this thesis writing stuff, I can move on to something where I have some time at home and some time somewhere else just for a different four walls to look at. Anyway, that aside, I think that we have probably chatted long enough, so I'm going to go for our first 25 minutes of the day. Set it up. We're going to sprint again in 3, 2, 1. Hello, I am back. How did everybody do? I you can tell I had a productive sprint because I jumped out of my skin when the noise went off, and something kind of exciting happened in this sprint. I have a very shiny surprise for you. Drumroll. May I introduce to you Asako?
Hooray!
Asako!
Hooray!
You want to introduce yourself, Sako, in case there's anybody who is unaware of your glorious existence?
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voigt. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. If you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, you can find a playlist of them on my channel, Sako Toomey Cass Voigt, and it's not just me talking, it's also people like Barrett Laurie and Lisa Daly and a bunch of other awesome people who have something to say on the topic. You should drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Yeah, you should definitely do that. Sako makes some really, really cool videos, and is also GMing this mage game.
I'm
And
actually editing that right now. Like
oh, that what
that
you're
is
up to?
my project. That is my project today. Is
Yeah, gotta give the people what they want.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So you've got video editing to do. Looks like we got
Mhm.
some chatter in the chat. Claude has left us. Looks like. But we got Elizabeth. I'll say goodbye. We have got Elizabeth's got 775 words of that sprint. Timer's
That's
starting me
this.
too. Maybe I should adjust the audio on that. Do something a little bit gentler. As Sako's got this amazing, is it a crow or a raven or
Yeah, I
something?
have a raven that kind of like warms you up to the howl
Yeah.
with
A
5 seconds left.
5-second warning might be a good thing. Elizabeth says, hello, Sako.
Hi.
Everybody saying hello, Sako. 152 words, 601 for the entire doc. Well done. Well done. Yeah. Okay. So we are all here, and it looks like we are all rocking and rolling on our various projects. I'm doing thesisy stuff again. It is fascinating.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm making a very big table of numbers,
Oh,
and it
fun.
is, yeah, it's just very slow, but
Yeah.
it's going. I've never actually done proper video editing, so I don't know what that kind of work is like at all, really.
Really, all I'm doing is taking out long pauses and a lot of ums and uhs
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
that it,
flows a
yeah.
bit faster. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. It's there's a lot in tabletop of going. How's that rule work again?
Well, fortunately, there's not a lot of that happening, but there is pauses in between sentences, in the middle of a sentence, and uh, especially if there's a scene and the scene ends, there's like an extra pause after that, and
Hmm.
you know, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So for external consumption, yeah, I imagine that there's a lot of pause cutting, and that's fairly intense kind of work. I imagine that you're.
Which is, I think, it's it more consumable than if it were live for that
Yeah,
reason. So
yeah.
people can kind of like, if they watch it sped up, like
Hmm.
they can do so without the extra pauses and the ums and uhs and
Yeah, I've found it very hard to get into watching anybody else's sort of D&D or their sort of games in general, because much as I love playing, I look at 3 hours worth of something and I go, oh no,
oh no,
I
yeah.
do not want that. I haven't got around
Which
to
is why
watching.
my games are 2 hours tops.
Yes, that seems much more manageable. I haven't actually got around to watching them yet, but having seen who's on your thing, I think that once I have a little bit more time to actually engage in content that I can actually engage with as opposed to have on in the background, I would like to
It's a
do
good
that.
game to have on in the background.
Yeah, I just can't deal with too many words while I'm doing what I'm doing at the moment.
I
So
can't
I'm
write
almost
while
exclusively
listening
on
to
music.
text. Yeah. Like if there are songs that have lyrics, I will transcribe the lyrics. I just
Yeah, I can do it if I know the music. Like if I know it well, I've listened to it a bunch of times before, that's fine. Or if it doesn't have lyrics, I can't do most hip hop even if I know it well because it's like no, the words are too much of a thing in it, and
mhm,
occasionally the words come out through my hands, and I don't. That's that's not what I need to be doing.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, got some more comments here. Oh, Casey's here. Hello, Casey. Yeah, this is Sako. She's very cool.
Yay.
Yeah. Casey says got some work stuff to do this morning. Maybe some writing later. Say writing very loosely. LMAO. But I think even the loose writing is part of the process. The kind of the just coming up with ideas, the researching
Planning.
this,
Yeah.
planning, outlining, formatting, all of those things that you're not necessarily thinking of as, oh, I have my hands on the keyboard and I am writing all of the things and getting big word counts. All the other things need to happen as well. They're all part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love your notebook, Sako.
Oh, my bullet journal.
Yeah. Oh, you do bullet journaling.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the only way that I can keep track of all the projects
Yeah.
that I'm doing
That
because
is. Yeah.
all my goal setting, all of that stuff. That's what
Mhm.
this book is for.
I also have a bullet journal
Cool.
somewhere. Oh no.
Somewhere.
I may have to do some digging. But yeah, it's I don't use it in a way that you're strictly supposed to. It's a bit more sporadic, it's a bit more chaotic, and only
That's the
certain
best
things.
part of a bullet journal is that you can take a break for like 3 months and then just come back and if
Yeah.
as long as you didn't pre-make like your entire week or your entire month or whatever,
I
like
know
you
myself
can
better than that.
you can you can pick up where you left off.
Yeah, yeah, that is what I like about it, the sort of flexibility. Also, there's there's room for doodling in it, and I like doodling.
Mhm.
No
Yeah, I
graphic
like bullet
designer.
journaling because I've basically come up with a format with a layout that actually works for me.
Ooh.
And it's a combination of like the legend planner and the
Mhm.
hero's journal and like the clever fox and a bunch of
Ooh,
others.
that is very cool. I don't
So
even know what any of those journals, their outlines look like. I should look
I
at
think
that.
you would really like the hero's journal.
Mhm.
Basically, it's D&D themed. It's got
Ooh.
all these illustrations that are like D&D themed, which are
Mhm.
great. It just shows the hero's journey
Oh.
throughout
Well, I
the
like
book.
Habitica, so
And
that might be a thing.
the you pick a project and like that becomes your quest
Mhm.
basically, and you get a quarter basically to make it a thing, and you kind of like analyze your work ethic and your workflow and stuff like that as you go.
That does sound very cool. I might have to have a look into it. I do the kind of ADHD thing of
That's
I
another
love
one where you can pick up where you left off.
a system. I am going to do it really intensely for 2 weeks and then forget it exists.
Oh, I got you.
But I do learn something from every system that I try. So
Mhm, mhm.
I think maybe eventually I will come up with a like you with some sort of nice integration
master
of
layout.
different things that I can work with. Casey says she's working on outlining, which yesterday consisted of me staring at my screen and only writing 3 sentences. Yeah, I have had those days. And then I
Absolutely.
delete one of the sentences.
And then I delete one of the sentences. She also mentions that she's a pantser, so outlining is super hard.
Yeah, I naturally incline towards pantsing myself.
So I think you're coming at it from the wrong angle.
Mm-hmm.
Not that any particular way is wrong, but coming at it from an angle that makes it harder than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you can basically write bullet points that are prompts that kind of like each bullet point would be a chapter. So you would write the point of the chapter, and then however you want to get there is like to the god.
Oh, so got a little bit of. Yeah, oh, you're back. Cool. You broke up for me at least in the last sentence, Sako.
Oh,
Yeah,
did I? Oh,
yeah. Um, where were you up to? Yeah, yeah. You were saying bullet points. Get the point of each chapter in.
yeah. And then, and oh, planter. Yeah.
Yeah,
I only plan so much. Yeah. That's
I
what I
only plan
do.
so much. Tend to end up not doing what's planned because the dialogue or actions just don't take it that way. Yeah, I know
Yep.
the thing.
As long as I accomplish what it was I set out to do, that is that is
That's
all
okay.
that matters. However I get there, and that might change bullet points in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That happens from time to time, which happened in Flambeau quite a bit, actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, with two people writing, I imagine that's.
Not just that, but 2 discovery writers, basically. 2 writers that, like, they outline a prompt, and then however they accomplish that prompt, like, sometimes new content, new
Mm-hmm.
information pops up
You
in
figure things out about the
the
characters as you go.
in the chapter. Like, for instance, we discovered that Justicia's powers kind of, like, expanded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, "Oh, that's a thing she can do now."
Yeah.
So we kind of, like, used that, like, further down into the book.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, if anybody has not heard, Sako's got a new book that is out right now. It's called Flambeau.
Yeah.
Um, if anybody out there with a spanner could grab a link from Amazon, I'd be very happy. But if not, I'll grab it on the next sprint. Yeah, Casey says that she also plants a bit. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
maybe that's the way to do it. Don't fight your brain too
Don't fight your
much.
brain. Yeah, like
If you can't think of where all of the bullet points are gonna go, get some down. Start writing on something you've got a bit of inspiration for, and maybe something will come out of your hands that you'll then go, that if this has happened now, then I'll need a later chapter that does this, or I'll need a previous chapter to explain how this was there and ready to happen.
I always write my first chapter last, and
Yeah.
I have a 30-day beat sheet, um, to write a novel in 30 days, basically. And what it does is there are prompts that you fill out,
Mm-hmm.
and those become my bullet list. So I have anywhere between 20 and 35 like bullet points
Mm-hmm.
that accomplish what I want to do.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I've never tried writing with a method like that, but I might try it at some point. It does sound really interesting. Casey's saying that she's usually a methodological planter. It's an amazing phrase. I love it. a methodological answer. Watched a video about different writing types. Fits me perfect. Trying some new things, see if it works better than what I was doing, which it wasn't working. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to try things out, and don't be afraid to try new things, but don't be afraid to also go, actually,
This isn't
maybe this
working.
maybe
Yeah.
this one isn't the right one. There are so many ways to write. There are so many ways to approach it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you gotta try a different one. Emma, hello, Emma. Good to see you. Hope all is well for everyone. Yeah. Hayden said BRB. Uh, Casey says, what was the book title again? Flambeau.
Flambeau.
Uh,
Flambeau, spelled
I'm,
with the French spelling.
yeah, I'm just spelling it in the chat. There we go. That's what it's called. Yeah. It is. It's very cool, sort of urban fantasy, magical realism kind of
It's
shenanigans.
Yeah, it's a mystery horror, paranormal mystery horror sort of situation. So it's
Almost like two people who write in a couple of different genres got together and had a book baby.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thriller. If you had to like put it on a shelf, like I would
Yeah.
probably put it in thrillers.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got that kind of vibe to it. That's cool. Hayden says back and streaming from phone. So sounds like we're all we're all back. We're all ready. Well, hopefully stretched and saved.
Yeah.
So I got some academic shenanigans to do, and Saka got some video to edit. So we should probably get back to that and do another sprint. So you want to count us in, Sako?
Sure. Hands on the keyboard, shoulders back. And nice and straight. And we can do this. We can do this.
It is.
And 3, 2, 1, sprint.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Sako. How did your sprint go?
I made it an hour in. I'm about halfway done.
Sweet, sweet, 50%.
Which
You
is
got this,
awesome.
Sako. Yeah. I very barely nearly got done on the batch of papers that I'm doing. I've got like 2 more things to check, which is like on only 2 of the papers. So it's like nearly. Crack of
So
the next
close.
sprint.
So
Have to
close.
start.
So
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Looks like the chat's been busy. Yeah, I just posted. Yeah, Metaphysical Chronicles. Yeah,
Book
it didn't
3.
start as a metaphysical chronicle, did it? You
It
discovered
did
it
not
was.
start that way, but after we got done with draft number 4, BC was like, this fits into my universe like really well. Can
Yeah,
I like shoehorn this in? And I
yeah,
was like, yeah, sure.
yeah. Were there any continuity things that you had to change at that
She,
point?
she not change, but add to, like make it a little more
Mm-hmm.
congruent with the other books.
The, the little details to show it exists in the
Same
same
universe.
universe.
Yeah. It's episodic, so you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
read books 1 and 2 to get book 3, but you get a more of the world building.
Yeah, extra bonus context.
Yeah. It's kind of like Sherlock in that it's episodic.
That's cool. I like that. I like again. It's my terrible fear of commitment. I
Uh,
like episodic media. And I can like I could put the that I could read one thing and it's a whole story. And if I want more, I can buy them all and read them all in like one terrifying week-long bender. uh, but if I don't like it, I can kind of leave it there and have still experienced a whole story. Casey said, "Yeah, that's the one I was looking at.
yeah.
Confirmation. Got the all clear to start working remote tomorrow. Whoop!
Yay.
Yay! Yay!
Hooray for
New way.
being at home.
Good. Yeah, not having to go out in the cold and the all of that.
And commute.
Yeah,
Bullshit
yeah."
commute.
Yeah, I was saying earlier on the stream that being in the one place all the time is not necessarily so amazing for my brain, but I do not miss commuting, not
Yeah, I
even
do
slightly.
not miss the commute.
It
Like my
kills like
commute is going down the stairs. It's
that's
nice.
good. That's good because I for the previous sort of 3 years I kept getting moved around different placements as part of my training. And I kept saying, please, something on a bus route to my house. Did they do that? Well, yes, they
No.
did at one
Oh.
point, but they chose a place that was like literally on the other end of a bus route. On the like, I am on the extreme sort of south edge of the city. They are on the north, so I had to go straight through the city center.
Oh, that sucks. So
It
it's
was
like
still,
a
yeah,
multi-hour.
it was still, it's an hour and a half, and like that's 3 hours gone out of your day.
Yeah.
You know, going, uh, yeah, I really need to learn to drive, but yeah, that can be the summer's project. Hayden says the writing is turning into a fictitious biography rather than general summary of my character's life. Said I'd do a max of 5 sentences. Now I have 488 words. Well, it sounds like you've found something interesting to write about there.
Bullet points. I am a firm believer in bullet points.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, my shit will get away from me.
Yeah. It's funny enough, my corrections are there's a lot of that. It's like, give us less context on this point, please. Cut
Let's
it
less
down.
context.
And add more tables. And I'm like, yeah, fair.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Casey's saying, yeah, it looks like you're inspired. Maybe you get letting get away, but at least there's something interesting to write about. It's a good sign about the story. Always lovely when past Casey forgets to do something and present Casey has to put out the fire. Oops. Yeah, I have words for past Jack very often.
My past Sako tries to make future Sako's life a lot easier, and so far it's working out pretty well.
Good on past Sako.
She's very selfless when it comes to like making her life easy.
Past Jack tries, but he is a bit of a trash fire. I say fire like it's a huge issue instead of just a slight inconvenience. Clearly, I'm being extra dramatic this morning. Look, it's the morning, so sometimes having not purchased coffee is just like a terrible tragedy and should be mourned.
I'm thinking about having another cup myself.
Sounds like a plan. Elizabeth says, we wrote a few more minutes on the draft, schedule social media, and started into some research during that one. Ooh.
Sounds productive.
This good, yeah. Elizabeth's always got loads of interesting things going on. In 449.
Solid
sprint there. Emma got 231 because I got distracted reading the first pages of Flambeau. Well, what a lovely reason to get distracted. And, some of the best writing advice I've ever heard is if you want to be good at writing, get reading. Read other people's writing. Read as widely and as variously and as much as you can, and you'll pick up things about craft that you wouldn't just by bashing your own head against it. And we've got Tara D's back. Hello, joined in late and got 280 words done anyway. Well done, Tara. Everybody's doing really well. You can't always measure progress in word counts, but I am very impressed by all the word counts I'm seeing. Got hooked.
Yay!
Yeah, this is good.
I succeeded.
Yeah, that must be so cool to hear, to have people on the internet going, "Oh my god, I'm reading your stuff and it's so good."
I am glad that the first chapter snags people.
Yeah.
That was the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can't get past the first 3 chapters, getting through the rest of the book is so much more daunting.
Yeah.
Even though it gets better.
Yeah.
After the inciting incident, it's just the inciting incident needs to happen a little further up.
The book I always think about for that is The Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first 3 or 4 chapters of that are there's a lot of lovely pastoral scenes, landscape and world building, and kind of it pays off later on.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a whole load of this is taking a very long time to get anywhere. What's going on here?
Pages and pages and pages of.
As a teenager, it took me a couple of attempts to get past that bit. And once I got past that bit, I read they're all doorstopper books, and I read them really quickly because once the action kicks off, it carries you along. But you kind of
But
have
even
to.
then, it's like this guy begat this guy, and
if you I'd say if anybody in the chat hasn't read it and wants to, just get as far as Bree. If you get as far as the hobbits reaching Bree, everything after that's smooth sailing pretty much. Don't be afraid to skip a bit. None of that Tom Bombadil stuff comes up later.
It's truth.
And we've got Andrea. Hello, I haven't seen you in ages. Welcome back. Back from hell. Oh, that's quite a trip. At least you're toastier than the rest of us. We're all going, it's like -12 and it's cold here. At least you went somewhere warm. Missed the reading. Gonna watch the recording. I don't think we didn't do any
Who's the reading? Who's doing
Who's
the
the reading?
reading?
Who's
I
the
haven't.
reading?
So I intend on doing an audiobook version of
Oh,
Flambeau, kind of like how Mama Maggie is doing it, and like a
yeah.
Heartbreather, like Sarah Cannon did a audiobook version, and
Mhm.
yeah, I
I
think
like audiobooks. I think it's a great idea. I remember you were saying that the trick was finding the right voice actor to read it for you.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
because you want the right voice.
uh, it would be nice. I just like I don't know who that would be at this juncture,
Mhm.
and I think it would be fine if I read it.
I think so. I think so. You've got a lovely voice. I would listen to you read things. Yeah, when I'm in a bookshop, I always read the first page or so, and if I'm not hooked, well, that's that then.
I go for
Ooh.
the midpoint. I will crack open the middle of the book and
Mhm.
read what's going down, and if it's actually moving along, then I'll
Mhm.
be like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, that's not a
'Cause
bad strategy. Not
'cause,
everybody's got a great first page.
that and, a lot of books suffer from, like, sagging middle syndrome,
Ooh, yeah.
and I
You
feel
don't
like the
want that.
midpoint really, like, kinda tense that up, like,
Mhm.
pitches it back up.
Yeah, I might have to try that next time I'm buying a book that
Mhm.
isn't from one of the like, I've got a list now of, like, author tube people that I'm like, "Ooh, okay, yeah, because I wanna read Flambeau, and I kinda wanna read Beastly when it comes out." I've seen a couple of
Mhm.
extracts on Instagram, and I'm like, "Ooh."
Yeah, she's doing one more editing pass, because like, I started formatting it, and
Mhm,
I made it to chapter 5, and I had found 3, errors
mhm.
up, up to chapter 5, and I was
Yeah,
like, "You should do another pass.
yeah,
You
yeah,
just one more.
yeah.
Get a
It's
proofreader," or like
It's
she's
good
like,
to
"I
have a
can't afford."
formatter that's kind of on the ball enough to spot that and go, "No, no, you don't need formatting yet. You need proofread." That's good. That it will come. It will come eventually.
Mm.
Yes. Currently on the Two Towers, listening at 1.8. Yeah, you do have to a bit. Otherwise, it might take you forever. Duh. Thought you read something. No, it was someone in the chat was starting to read Flambeau, Sokka's book. So we were talking about it. We were talking about what we were talking about that, and then we were talking about books in general and how they start and how do you know what book you want to read and avoiding sagging middle syndrome versus avoiding books that are kind of a bit of a slog at the start. Yeah, that's the first chapter conversation. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, you should watch the replay anyway. Do some more sprints. uh Good idea, actually. Yeah, appreciation for your test of the middle.
That's what
That's what
happens
happened
when.
when you come late. Look, late or early, you are always welcome here. This is a casual stream. You can drop in, drop out, whatever you like. That is the nature of the format, and you are welcome whenever you are here and appreciated. We always like seeing you in the chat. You always have some interesting things to say.
Oh,
Speaking of sprinting, are you
we
good
should
for
do
one
another.
more?
I am.
I am. I want to get this bit that I'm working on finished and get set up
You're
for the
so
next
close.
next bit. I'm so close, and that means that I can use the rest of the sprint to set up for the next batch of 4, which means that I can do it on somebody else's stream later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So we're gonna go again in 3, 2, hands on the keyboards, 1, sprint. Here we are. Hey, how was your sprint?
Wonderful. I'm now an hour in, and I've got another 45 minutes.
It's good. So you're more than
Yes,
halfway through.
more
It's
than halfway through.
yeah, it's
I think
good.
I think I'll probably finish this by 10 or 11, which will be great. I have peanut butter on my face. That's cool.
I didn't notice. I couldn't see it. We always look harder at ourselves. Maybe I should be glad of my slightly crappy webcam because I can't
You can't see the flaws,
I mean,
the glossy
sometimes
parts that are
sometimes my
peanut butter.
acne is just hellacious enough that it's like, yeah,
Not having it.
yeah, it's the webcam's not gonna help. But yeah, if I do come in with peanut butter on my face, neither I nor anyone else is going to ever notice.
Indeed.
How did everybody else do? Gosh,
Indeed.
Andrea saying, "Oh, I missed you, Jack. I missed you too, Andrea." Andrea's very cool. She she suggested a bunch of stuff that I could do with my thumbnails to make them better. Just like popped up on Instagram, was like, "Hey, let me share my advice." Just like, yeah, and it's helped a lot. I think I've got much more engagement since I started putting in the visual, making it obvious what I'm actually doing
Cool.
bits. I've got Elizabeth, who finished some edits from a beta reader, wrote a bit more on my draft, answered an email. Thanks to the sprints, I got lots done. Yeah,
Yay.
thanks for being here. Sprints work for the people on this side of the camera as well. It's much harder to do it with nobody to be there watching you. This is how this works. Andrew said, I send feedback to my students and I'm doing a quiz for training. So lots of productivity happening here in the chat. So this is all good. I got everything I wanted to done. I am all lined up so that when I return, I can set off sprinting on a new fresh batch of papers, and I'm all lined up to do them. Uh, Emma says 292, the short tangent, try to figure out what people in the more alpine parts of the Middle East would wear for snow back in the day. Oh, that's a really cool little niche angle of research. I like that. I like that. I bet you got to see some cool outfits.
Hide and fur.
Hide and fur, they're good. Keeping a person warm. Or keeping the creature they were originally attached to warm as well. So, if it ain't broke, I guess. Okay, so I am going to have to go off and get some lunch, lest I turn into a hanger beast.
Right
Towers
on.
come in, 180 plus words, went back and tweaked some dialogue to make it work better. Cool. Bit of
Yay.
writing, bit of editing, bit of this, bit of that. It's all good. Yeah, so I'm going to, couldn't find much, just going for leather
Leather
boots.
boots. Yeah.
Leather and fur, like Sako says, is a reasonable bet anywhere in the world.
Yep. Fur lined leather.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Warm and breathable. So I'm going to clock off for now, but first let's have a little outro from Sako.
Yay! Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voigt. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. If you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, and it's not just me talking. It's also like Barrett Laurie and Lisa Daly and a bunch of other awesome people. You should drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Yay.
And
Thank
of
you,
course,
Sako.
if you liked this video at any point, I encourage you to hit the like button. And if you would like to see more of Jack's streams and stuff like that, then you might want to subscribe and maybe even ring that bell on the off chance that YouTube actually notifies you when he goes live.
Yeah, sometimes it works. Sometimes it even works. But yeah, thanks for being here, folks. Thanks for your comments. Thank you especially to Sako for coming on and chatting to me. It is always lovely to see your lovely face.
Hmm.
Uh I am here every Tuesday and Thursday from 12 UTC GMT until whenever I run out of
Just
steam.
2 hours is
uh,
a good time to run
2 hours
out
is a good
steam.
time. It neatly fits into StreamYard's limit.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, thanks. You're very welcome. Great to see you all. Until then, I will see you next Tuesday. Bye bye.